Well, the market is recovering a bit today after the rejection of the bailout bill, a massive drop in stock prices that we saw. Today, some members of Congress are saying that they're seeing a bit of a shift in voter response from being against the deal to calling for Congress to take some kind of action. There's a proposal for the FDIC now to increase its insurance coverage on bank deposits and for extending unemployment benefits as part of any bill. And the stock market has bounced back a bit today, gaining back more than half of what it lost on Monday. We're very fortunate to be joined now by two members of the Michigan Congressional Delegation, one Republican, Congressman McCotter, one Democrat, Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick. Thank you both very much for being here. And I know some people are saying, yes, it's just another one of those issues where McCotter and Cheeks Kilpatrick voted together. Interesting that you both voted against the bailout package, I'm assuming for different reasons. Congressman, first with you.
Well, this is the first global financial panic of the quote-unquote new global economy. And what you've seen is because of the gravity of the situation, members were forced to look at this and look at a long-term result because we're setting a precedent. And maybe for different reasons or maybe the same, a majority of Republicans and Democrats agree that this Paulson Plan to bail out Wall Street with $700 billion was not a fair precedent to set for the American people, and it might not work in the first place.
Congresswoman, there was such an urgency around all of this. We were told that we were just 3 or 4 days from the entire collapse of the system 2 weeks ago. What weighed into your decision to vote against it?
The same thing. We need to take our time. This is a very severe problem. We all agree that something must be done. We've got to fix it. We've got to fix it right. We don't get a second chance for this. It's too much of a burden on American taxpayers at the moment. We can make it better. They sent us a 3-page bill, $700 billion, no questions. We made it 106, and it's still not right. 400 economists, 4 Nobel laureates have come to us and said we can do other things. There's some administrative things that can be done. We need to see pay go. Some of it needs to be paid for. We don't have $700 billion. I sit on appropriations. It's $1 trillion that we divide up for health and education and housing and the like. We spend this today, there'll be nothing for whomever becomes president. So we want to slow down, get it right. We don't get a second chance.
How much of what we've watched transpire here has been overly politicized? I'd like to both of you to weigh in on this. We're in an election year with a lame duck president at the time. We've got 2 candidates who really don't quite have the authority yet to do anything, and all of you, everybody in the House of Representatives is up for re-election in about a month.
Well, I think it's remarkably been very conscientious, outside from every now and then people yelling. They understand the gravity of a potential worldwide financial meltdown. They focused on this regardless of politics, and while, there are arguments amongst each other, but we've generally stayed focused on it, and we've listened to the American people. The American people said 2 things. As Carolyn pointed out, they said no to the Paulson Plan, and they said yes, get something better done. And we are going to stay focused on that.
And it hasn't been partisan.
Nancy Pelosi, some have criticized the Speaker for being partisan in her comments just before the vote.
And I can't speak to that. She was a little harsh. That wasn't why I voted against it, that's for sure. But it's so serious with so many things hanging out there. And it's international. I really want Japan and Israel and Europe and other countries to play into this. Our financials are international, and we need an international resolve. So we'll get there. We're back on Thursday, and I'm sure we'll come up with a better plan.
I heard your comment earlier today, one of my favorite aphorisms about politics, that there's no such thing as permanent friends or permanent enemies, only permanent interests.
It's interests and issues, and that's why Thaddeus and I are agreeing today.
Which is why I wonder, though, if since you both saw different flaws in the plan, is there a plan that you could see the 2 of you, and for that matter, a much broader picture of Democrats and Republicans agreeing on?
I do believe we can. I do. It's that serious.
What will the keys be to that plan?
Well, less burden on the taxpayer. That's got to be something. We want to see more homes and people in their homes and foreclosures different, rearrange something with that. The Treasury Secretary has unlimited power. He'll be gone in 3 months, as will Bush. So we've got to make it past this administration. It's got to be something that works for the American people.
Would you agree that those are the same issues that vex you, or do you have a different set of concerns that you take into looking for what you can support?
Well, I think there are things out there that would make the proposal more palatable to members, such as FDIC insurance coming up with everybody across the board to protect depositors. But my concern has always been the fundamental premise of the Paulson Plan was repugnant to me and to the American people, where they spend your money buying assets out of Wall Street no one else in their right mind would buy. I do think, however, that enough people, given the vote that we went through, for one way or shape or form, with enough changes such as FDIC, maybe capping the amount and having the institution of Congress vote for it, that they can get to where they need to go.
Congressman Thaddeus McCotter, Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks Kilpatrick, it's been a historic week, and thank you so much for sharing some time with us today.
Right, and us sitting here like here, it's also historic, but the main thing about it is we have the interests of the American people, really. It's that serious and not to be taken lightly.
We'll see what happens Thursday. There seems to be some optimism, I think, as we go forward.
Thank you.
Ruth, back to you.